ability to make running less forceful on your body, especially on your hips. Done the wrong way, and the health benefits of running will be completely useless because you'll most likely be sidelined with an injury. In this video, I'm going to go over the multitude of ways landing with the forefoot strike foot step pattern during running may make it substantially easier on your hip joint and may actually enhance mechanical responses of the hips as well, which may overall help weave together greater, more sustained running efficiency. The opposite of a forefoot strike landing pattern during running is a heel strike landing pattern, to which mountains of research is piling up, demonstrating that heel strike running may be a hotbed for many running injuries, especially hip injuries. Why? Because most heel strike runners typically overstride, which looks like this. In the case of overstriding in heel strike running, the foot and leg extends way out beyond a long range of distance in front of the rest of the body, whereby at touchdown, there's going to be a greater clash between the upper body and initial foot strike position. Thus, there may be greater compressive force densities on the hip joint. Conversely, more and more research is providing a bigger glimpse of how running with a forefoot strike landing pattern may help naturally diminish your chances of getting an injured hip. Because when you run with a forefoot strike landing pattern, there seems to be a rapid convergence of safer mechanical adjustments that forefoot striking naturally brings on board during running. More hip-friendly biomechanics may be more grouped together just by landing with the forefoot strike footstep pattern during running. From this, forefoot running may naturally help relieve mechanical stress and strain from the hips. So it's really important to underscore that just by landing with a forefoot strike landing pattern during running, which looks like this, sets in constant motion other mechanical variables that may naturally ease impact on the hip joint. First and foremost, landing with a forefoot strike naturally results in less impact force distribution throughout the leg. So just by making initial ground contact on the front part of your foot when you run and not directly on your heel, as in heel strike running, can create mechanical value in reducing the flow of high impact, to which this form of impact reduction and impact protection via forefoot striking during running may in of itself be key to solving many impact related hip problems during running, because the mechanical arrangement of the foot in a forefoot strike landing pattern really fundamentally reshapes how impact is distributed on the leg. When initial ground contact is made forefoot first, the forefoot slightly points downward on the ground, which looks like this. This landing configuration of the foot-ankle complex in forefoot strike running causes the ankle joint to be more compliant. According to studies, this landing configuration of a forefoot strike, which naturally may increase elastic responsiveness or more maximum leg spring coming from the ankle joint, may dramatically decrease or completely remove the impact peak associated with heel strike running that produces a shock wave well known to be the source of many common running related injuries, especially bone injuries. Aside from that, landing with a forefoot strike footstep pattern during running always seems to put many more of the right mechanical pieces in place that may help effectively restrict the flow of high impact from piercing up the legs and to the hips. This is one way landing with the forefoot strike during running enables a less forceful interaction between the foot and the ground to naturally fall into place. Another fundamental way forefoot striking during running deflects impact away from the hip joint is that landing with the forefoot strike footstep pattern during running naturally increases step frequency, also known as step rate or cadence of the feet, which means the total number of steps of the feet performed per minute, whereby there is direct evidence showing forefoot strike running is one of the primary ways to naturally increase step rate. Now, why is this important? Because it turns out a higher step rate during running is strongly linked to less impact summed on the hips. A 2011 study published in the journal Medicine and Science in Sports and Exercise found that landing with a forefoot strike during running directly affected step frequency, resulted in a higher step frequency, meaning that foot ground interactions were more brief. Ground contact time was decreased, which was found to support greater impact deflection away from the hip and also resulted in reduced hip extensor moments at touchdown. Moments meaning impact force distribution, suggesting that increased step rate spurred on by forefoot striking during running may result in less mechanical chaos on the hip extensors, which are sets of muscles that run down along the backside of the hip. The same study also found that a higher step frequency, i.e. lighter, quicker footsteps with the foot on the ground, reduced peak hip adduction during the loading response phase shortly after touchdown during running, which means the thighs did not veer too far inwards towards the midline, but rather the thighs tended to point straight ahead in the forward direction. This too may make a big difference in relieving strain off the IT band. It may dramatically reduce torque and rotational forces off of the knee joint as well, on the basis that a higher step rate on account of forefoot striking during running may prompt more sufficient leg alignment, i.e. less inward pointing of the knee and thighs during the stance phase of running, thereby putting another check into the system of safer hip engagement during forefoot running. This was also verified in a 2014 study published in the Journal of Sports and Health, which found a strong correlation between reduced hip adduction, i.e. the knees and thighs pointed more straight and not toward the midline, and less knee strain during running. This is why forefoot running can be so mechanically lucrative, not only on the hip joint, but on the knee joint as well, as forefoot striking during running really seems to provide more protective capital as compared with heel strike running, as forefoot strike running seems to effectively unleash and be connected to other mechanical actions that seem to create an essential lasting safeguard on the hip joint and the knee joint. Last but not least, landing with the forefoot strike during running also naturally shortens stride length. Landing on the front part of the foot may help narrow down your stride length. It may help put a cap on your forward leg swing activity, so it may keep the leg swing action in front of the body to an absolute minimum, which may help harbor less resistance in going forward, which is going to be more suitable for sustained forward momentum, and from this may transfer less impact stress on the hips. One very big lesson is that landing on the front part of your foot during running, so landing on the balls of your foot, may assemble the knee joint to automatically bend at touchdown. Which is going to help block overstriding and may be best adapted to ensure less impact blow on the hips. In contrast, landing with the heel strike footstep pattern during running may guide the foot to land in a different place, causing your stride to spread out too far in front of your body while your knee joint is unbent. This specific arrangement looks like this. Whereby there is strong biomechanical evidence supporting that this arrangement, i.e. Heel striking at touchdown while extending the leg far out in front of your body may catalyze greater compressive reactions on the knee and hip, which may potentially increase force pressures on the knee joint and on the hip joint. This is often the reason for there being more impact expanses in heel strike running than in forefoot strike running. This is why landing with a forefoot strike during running may be more of a safe haven for the knee joint as well as the hip joint, since there's more of a cushioning effect that streams out of landing on the forefoot when you run. There are more mechanical layers of impact blockage, if you will, that are otherwise amplified in heel strike running. Overall, indeed, there are complexities to the cause of running related injuries, and even though many runners still debate which style of running is better, forefoot strike running versus heel strike running, researchers have made tremendous observational and theoretical advances to which many researchers have directly linked forefoot strike running to less impact bursts on the knee joint and the hip joint, and forefoot running helps anchor more sufficiently aligned leg mechanics, which may lay a safer, softer foundation on the hips. With forefoot running, you seem to get multiple threads of safer mechanics needed for lasting progress when it comes to avoiding injury. From this, it's very easy to see that forefoot running really has no rival when it comes to protecting the joints from high waves of impact. I hope you've enjoyed this video. For more on the health and performance benefits of forefoot running versus the health harming effects of heel strike running, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, where you will also stay up to date on the latest regarding the health and performance benefits of barefoot running as well as minimalist running. Thank you so much for listening and watching. Have fun out there on the roads and trails. Bye for now.